Alright, hello everyone, and now welcome to another game. Casting, I am Crota, giving you a game between SoIN versus 120 here on Turtle Rock. For those of you guys on Twitch, yes, that will be my last game of the day. Alright, hello everyone, Crota's intro, yep. That is me. We are going to be looking at Altar of Darkness, Ziggurat being placed down. Should be also looking at a crypt here in just a moment. As things are getting underway. Crypt now being placed down once more. You can see acolytes, well, mining away, and this is going to be relatively close spawns, so I am interested to see what the strategy will be between these two particular players. Let's take a look at this. Peons, well, nothing yet. Harvesting lumber. An interesting building placement. As we see an Altar of Storms, this burrow does kind of concern me. We may see another burrow here, and then some buildings, maybe a voodoo lounge, and another building here, but I would normally assume this barracks would actually be built in a more forward position, allowing a bestiary to be built in the back so it's not harassed as much. Perhaps SoIN, knowing the harassment style and the matchup better than I do, as we now see the graveyard coming into play. Crypt gonna be here, ready to go. Death Knight going up against a Blade Master, no surprises at all, as we're looking at a Voodoo Lounge being built a little bit far out, which indicates we should be clearing out the Ogre Warriors here to pick up some items before that Blade Master tries to do a bit of harassment back at the other end. Tomb of Relics, we've seen how effective that Tomb of Relics is with that Rod of Necromancy. And now that I think about it, in terms of items, who do you think has the best shop? I think that would be a very, very, important discussion in the entire game. Staff of Preservation, Staff of Sanctuary, very, very strong items for Human and Night Elf. Orb of Corruption, Rod of Necromancy, extremely powerful. Also the availability of Dust of Appearance for Undead, also very, very useful. You also have Essence of Blight, which is used maybe 25% of the time, but is still an option. Also, in addition to that, if you take a look at Orc has Healing Salves, Clarity Potions, Scroll of Speed, Orb of Lightning, and Pocket Great Hall. Some very useful items there. And then a Night Elf, that Ancient of Wonders pretty much just buys Orb of Venom, Clarity Potion. Does it have Clarity Potions? I don't think it does. I'll have to double check that. And Moonstones and Potions of Healing are some of the major items there. So, I don't know, you guys take a poll, and you guys let me know what you think is the best shop. Give me your reasons why. I know out of the 4 orbs, Human does have the weakest orb, as you rarely ever see an Orb of Fire, but at the same time, they also have the best staff, that Staff of Sanctuary. But then again, the availability of Staff of Preservation at Tier 2 some may argue trumps the availability of Staff of Sanctuary at Tier 3. Blade Master currently when walking around. Night Elves do have Clarity, yeah, that's what I thought. Someone told me that Night Elves didn't have Clarity, and I remember that a long time ago. Death Knight now looking to perhaps clear out the giant sea turtle creep camp. You can see that the Blade Master is right there and going to cause harassment onto that Death Knight. Death Knight taking a bit of damage once more, and that's exactly what the Blade Master wanted to do. He just wanted to disrupt the Death Knight's creeping. Meanwhile, the Blade Master himself wants to go after this Ogre Warrior creep camp, but he's going to be double backing around and then getting some damage over here. Orb and Pocket Hall is the most effective in the early to late game. Orc, yeah, and Potions of Healing, but that's also because the Blade Master has is highly addicted to Potions of Healing. He often takes so much damage, and he is so critical, as opposed to, say, the Archmage, who shouldn't be taking damage anyways. Alright, Death Coil not going to be able to make it to finish it off. Blade Master looks like it will, in fact, get to level 2 off of this creep camp, as the last Sea Turtle hatchling will give it that extra little bit. They did it in Reign of Chaos. There were no shops in Reign of Chaos. Right? Like, yeah, I don't think there were shops available in Reign of Chaos. Death Knight, Crypt Fiend now wandering back around here. Blade Master still wandering around, perhaps going to be able to get some damage onto the Forest Trolls and these back units. Death Knight now trying to get away. Is he going to be able to deal enough damage? And we don't see Dust of Appearance, so this could potentially be a problem as the Blade Master may try to get some extra damage onto the Death Knight here. Death Knight knows that the Blade Master is nearby once he spots those grunts, as the grunts are just trying to get in front of that Death Knight. Death Knight, however, once again, however, able to outmaneuver as the grunts do not have that bonus movement speed. All right. Blade Master still chasing after all of those units once again. So as the Blade Master looking to focus down those Crypt Fiends. All right, Death Coil finishing off another Crypt Fiend there as the Blade Master is still wandering back around. Let's take a look back off to the north. Shadow Hunter is out onto the field, but nothing really to creep alongside it, as the Blade Master may want to try to do a little bit more harassment. Ogre Warrior is going to end up getting finished off here. Blade Master picking up a very useful Gloves of Haste. Whenever the Blade Master is able to deal more damage or attack more quickly, you know that is good news for that Blade Master. Shadow Hunter going to rejoin up with the rest of the army, as the Blade Master most likely going to break away from the army. As the Shadow Hunter is going to creep alongside those grunts, the Shadow Hunter does want to get to level 2. Skeletal minions now making their way out. You can see one single bestiary back across over here, now getting up in snare as well, as the Crypt Fiends and the units are now trying to get away. All right, Frost Armor onto this poor Crypt Fiend. Death Coil trying to save the unit, but it is going to end up getting surrounded. Is it going to end up getting taken down? Yes, it will. No additional Death Coils available. Lich does have Claws of Attack +6. Those ice balls, snowballs doing a little bit more damage than normal, dealing, 28 to 34. As we're looking at the Shadow Hunter looking to proc all of these units back so it doesn't expose its back to the end. All right, Ogre Warrior going to get taken down here. And Grunt's going to go ahead and finish off the Ogre Warrior. Ogre Warrior now trying to get away, as you can take a look. Blade Master looking to pick off some more units as well. Ogre Magi going to be the main target, as it will reveal these lanes here. Meanwhile, back across, the Death Knight now going after the giant sea turtle creep camp will be able to clear it out. And it looks as though the Lich is still going to just stay at level 1. Back at the base, though, we can see Slaughterhouse training up those obsidian statues. We are nearly at tier 3, and are we perhaps going to be seeing a Dreadlord trend as we are going to tier 3, and as we now are currently at Fortress. Crypt Fiends are here, gonna go ahead and put pressure onto the Orc Burrow. Skeletal Minions are here as well. Obsidian statues are in position. The Skeletal Minions are all trying to get in a position to try and, well, make it difficult to try and repair. Meanwhile, Frost Armor, Death Coil trying to save those remaining units. Blade Master looking to finish off an Obsidian statue, down to 95 hit points, down to 11, and oh, it does get taken down. Blade Master getting a well-timed critical strike in addition to a Windwalk strike to finish off that Obsidian statue just as it was about to teleport. All right, let's take a look back across here. Altar of Darkness. 31, nothing being trained. We do see a sacrificial pit. A shade is going to be haunting that Blade Master for quite some time, as we see the Blade Master once again may be able to get another easy Obsidian statue. Frost Armor there. Blade Master, well, trying to finish things off. Let's take a look. Blade Master going to be able to get off another easy shot. Blade Master, well, is he going to get taken down? Is the Obsidian statue going to get taken down? You better believe it. Blade Master is just waiting on the cooldown, and there it goes. Finally finishes it off and gets another Windwalk once more. 2 Obsidian statues down. SoIN having a great time, as 120, well, has lost both of his early Obsidian statues and has lost any sort of mana or hit point advantage that he would normally have. Blade Master sitting at level 3. Shadow Hunter getting very close to level 3. There he goes. Finally gets to level 3, as the Ogre Magi, well, was just standing in place since he is a melee unit that was ensnared. Blade Master looking to back up again. Gargantuan Sea Turtle at the other end going to get cleared up. Death Knight sitting at level 2 only. And this has all been due to the fact that there's been a lot of interruptions on the Undead's creeping. Now, the Orc is going to jump ahead in terms of overall experience. You're going to see it. Well, no ensnare going down. Big surprise there, as the Lich, Lich doesn't have that Orb of Corruption. Is going to be plus 14 attack. In addition to that -5 armor, that giant sea turtle so quickly getting taken out. Gargantuan sea turtle, -1 armor right now as well, taking bonus damage as opposed to actually getting some damage mitigation. Obsidian statues are starting to make their way out onto the field, but you got to remember 2 of those obsidian statues were already taken out, making it much more difficult for 120 to build the remainder of his army. We do see a Frostworm out onto the field as well, so the Frostworm should be able to slow down some of these targets. Tauren Chieftain out as well, gets Endurance Aura, perhaps the least useful item out of all of them, as a Gargantuan Sea Turtle going to go ahead and try and engage. Death Knight, well, a Shadow Hunter now makes its way over. Shadow Hunter with a Pendant of Energy. Blade Master unable to steal that final shot off there, as we now see the engagement. Blade Master going after the Lich. Lich should try and get in some Death Coils, or get some Death Coils to try and heal. Lich, is it going to be able to survive? No, it is not. Windwalk Strike. That was all timed extremely well, as the Shadow Hunter, Shadow Hunter beautifully played right there. I wish I could rewind that. The Shadow Hunter purposely hexed the air unit, the Frostworm, and then healing waved himself. However, still not going to be enough to try and survive. All right, Frostworm trying to make its way back out. Lich back out onto the field. Death Knight in serious trouble. As you see, the Shadow Hunter is back out as well. Death Knight needs to get away, taking far too much damage. Are we going to perhaps see the Shadow Hunter getting taken out for the second time? Yes, he is, giving the Lich level 3. Death Knight at the other end of the map. Potion of Invulnerability. No, Scroll of Town Portal is going to be used instead, and he is teleporting back home. 45 supply compared to 41, as all the units are now back on Blight, at least all the undead ones, trying to heal back up. All right, let's take a look. Selling the Scroll of the Beast. You can see the Blade Master finishing off some additional targets. Double Frostworms here. Lich needs to get some mana. Obsidian Statue needs to be added. 2 Frostworms, and that is it for the army. 120 sitting at 44 supply. And SoIN gonna use this opportunity to get further levels on his Tauren Chieftain. Shadow Hunter sitting at level 3. Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 3. Blade Master sitting at level 3. 3-3-3 going up against a 3-3 right now. Frostworms, however, going to make short work of this creep camp. You saw that -5 armor, and then all of a sudden a single blast from those Frostworms pretty much nearly took them out. Forest Troll Berserker, however, medium armor, going to be able to absorb a little bit more. Death Knight may try to get a Death Coil to save that Frostworm there, as there is equal damage spread across the units. Death Knight now up to level 2. Brilliance Aura onto the Lich, so extra mana as well on that Lich, which is going to be extraordinarily helpful, keeping the Obsidian statues high as well. Death Knight going after the Gargantuan Sea Turtle. Let's take a look. All of a sudden, that -5 armor, bonus damage, quickly taken down. Scroll of the Beast dropped again. Not the item the Death Knight wanted. Back at the other side, Gargantuan Sea Turtle taken out. Potion of Invulnerability should most likely be given to that Blade Master, as that Blade Master is going to be in those front lines quite often. All right, once you have, well, Orb of Corruption and Frostworms, all of the creep camps, well, look like easy targets and easy pickings, as you see Scourge Bone Chimes now picked up. Death Knight going to enjoy a little bit of health regeneration, but I believe that item will be sold unless for some reason we need to see a lot of Abominations and or Gargoyles. Blade Master wandering around, sticking with the rest of the units. Are we perhaps going to see some ensnares? There is the engagement, going to finish off the remaining targets. This Obsidian Statue taking far too much damage. Even if it goes into the air, it's going to have a very bad day, as the Tauren Chieftain tries to get into position once more. There's a beautiful stomp. Death Knight down to 318 hit points, down to 209. He is hexed. He is going to get taken down, and that should pretty much be the game. Getting creep-jacked, losing your primary hero, and that is going to be the game right there, even though 120 did a great job trying to get up a strong army. In the end, Orb of Lightning procking down a Frostworm and an Ensnare on the other, and SoIN now with a commanding 20 supply lead, I gotta believe, once that adjusts. Obsidian Statue now taken out as well. Wind Riders are in the air, and I believe the towel could be thrown in at any point. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.